Okay, so on page 139 we have this figure, and we can use some of the tools that we've learned. Let's start with a rectangle tool, and well, that's good. We'll just specify the first corner, and then we can just type in the numbers that we see. So the highlighted number now is in blue, so I could type in, that should be a 9. And then I'll tab to the next number, which should be a 3. Now there's another rectangle inside it that's 3/16 of an inch away from that. So I'm going to use the offset tool for that. 3/16, and there's those two. So that's pretty fun. That's, pretty good, I guess. Then there's another rectangle, but I don't need to draw another rectangle, because if I do, it will produce, a line on top of another line. So I'll just use a line. And it's from this edge. And it's a 1/4 inch. And it comes all the way over, and I don't know, if you add all those up, however, you don't really have to add all those up. You can just type them in, just 1.5, the first one, and then 1.25 for the next one. And then what's the next one? 5/8, right? And then goes up. The advantage of doing that is the two wheels, the circles, are actually, well, they're not right on that. They're a little bit below it, right? But I can, I think I can move those into place in a variety of ways. So, so I'll just draw. Looks like they're 1 1/16 inch in diameter. So I'll hit D for diameter. 1 1/16. Okay, now I got to move it down, but I don't know where that is. I don't have a number for that, other than it's actually, if I move it straight up to there, it's actually 5/8 inches below that. So I can just move that 5/8. There we go. I'll just draw another circle, and I think those are 1 1/4. Yeah, something like that. No, I guess that's it. I could trim that off. So trim out the lines in the circle. That's pretty good. Let's take a look at this line right here. Okay, I want to explain that a little further. So, and actually this stuff too. So I got this far pretty easily, right? That's all just numbers that are right there, right? But then you get into the slanted line. So you can draw a slanted line just by knowing how far left to go and how far up to go or whatever, right? So if I type in like 5, 5, it'll go 5 to the right and 5 up. Okay. So that's not what I want to do, but you know, that shows it. So I want to go 125 units left. So that's negative because it's left, and 125, comma, see, just did it. Well, then I just moved my mouse. So let me try it again. Negative 125, comma, oops, shift tab. Okay, I already got the 125 in. And then how far up do I go? 35. Yeah, minus the 10.5 because I already went up 10.5, so I get that, yeah, 24.5. So there I go. And then just enter. See, it went left 125 and up 24.5. So I'm going to do it again, right? So the book says it goes left 4.5, right? So negative 4.5. I just start typing, right? I don't have to put my mouse anywhere. I just start typing negative 4.5, comma, and then it goes down how far? Right, 5, right? Because I look at the numbers and it goes from the bottom, it's 35 to the top of that, and to the bottom of the door or whatever, the top of the door is 30, with it, which is a difference of 5. Okay, so it's 5 below that. So there it is, and then I can just draw that all the way across. There, see? We really haven't talked about this, but I'm going to scoot over here for a sec. Dynamic input is on right now, right? And so dynamic input allows you to see, like when I'm drawing, it gives me all these you know, it shows a bunch of stuff on the screen, right? Like how long the line is and what angle it is and stuff. But you can turn that off with an F12. And so now I don't have anything. But you can still, so I can still do negative 125, comma, 24.5, right? And guess what? Yeah, that goes to, that's actually the X coordinate. See the coordinate down here? That actually types in the coordinate. So dynamic input forces what's called relative coordinates from where you click, right? So watch this. I can still do it without it. So I'm going to undo to get me back to my first line. And so instead of just typing, I have to type in the @ symbol, the email @ like the shift 2. And then I can type in negative 125. I don't suggest doing this, but you can, right? And then 24.5. See? And then it draws it. So conversely, if I wanted to go to 0, 0, I could type in 0, 0, and it won't do anything, right? It just drew another line 0 length. It stayed right there. But what if I wanted to go over somewhere wherever 0, 0 is over here, right? So I could type in the hash symbol, right? The shift 3 and 0, 0. And then it goes, see, and then it goes to 0. So those are absolute coordinates. So you can tell AutoCAD to go from where I am or to go absolute world coordinates to, if you know what that is. And sometimes that's useful. So we'll play with that periodically as we draw stuff. So anyway, yeah. So to be able to print that, I want to change my scale to accommodate the metric units. So I go to the custom scale because there's not a good one in there, and I'll add a scale, and I'm going to make this drawing 1 to 25.4. Do you remember what that number is about? There are 25.4 millimeters in an inch, right? So 1 inch is 25.4 millimeters. So all this does, it doesn't do anything other than shrink everything down to inches, more or less, right? So, well, millimeters really. So I'll just okay that, and then I'll choose it from my list now. Now when I insert the border, because it's annotative, see that little scale? That's the profile section of a scale. I'll add that to my list, and now it fits perfectly. There you go. Just as pretty as you please. I don't know what that is. Oh, that was my line. Okay, here's a question. So I'm editing my border, right? Double click, okay that. And I got the name and date, and the drawing is number 3, I think, because the dartboard was number 1. The truck trailer was number 2, and this is number 3. See the 03? Yep.
How long do you get the
you can just type in ribbon, or okay. So if you see this little minimize, is it minimized or is it gone?
It's
Okay, so just type in ribbon. So what's the scale? Here's a trick question. What's the scale of this drawing? Turns out it's 1 to 1 because all I did when I changed this scale here is to set it so it accommodates the metric conversion. So if I printed this out, I could measure this and it would be 225 millimeters. So there. Although when I print, I have to actually say that, right? So if I go to the DWG to PDF, set the ANSI full bleed, extents, centered. See that says I need to put in 25.4 here, or you can just change the inches to millimeters. Now you can tell AutoCAD that it's millimeters and go 1 to 1. And that way you can kind of be more at ease at that being one-to-one. So that's what that's about.
Then you do it for both of those.